Okay, so it's Alan Wake 2 time. I haven't played the first game. I happened upon it. Actually, I happened upon the first game when I was looking for Alone in the Dark for the Xbox 360, and I got the game, but I never played it. I probably started it, but I never completed like 1 hour of gameplay. But this is Alan Wake 2. This is Remedy. This is Remedy's latest game from the Northlight engine. It's not Unreal Engine 5 engine. Although it looks like Unreal Engine 5, it looks beautiful and all kind of eye candy, but it's not Unreal Engine 5. This is running at 1080p on the 4090. I'm using 4090 and I was gonna say 4090 Ti, 4090 and a new processor which is 7800X3D because my old processor. I was gonna do a day one cover, but I didn't because my processor was acting up, and yeah, I found a bent pin under the processor. So this is all right, so this is 1080p DLAA. I found out that there's no difference between native like this or DLAA. The same amount of FPS I got with my GPU. Ray tracing is off. I don't know what this direct lighting, but it should be. Well, I'm gonna turn it off because it should be off. So ray tracing is off completely. Nothing is on. Settings at a high instead of ultra because this game is brutal. This game is like Crisis to the power 5. To the power of 6, probably not even 5. Yeah. This is how it runs on 1080p, and this is right now. It's running 120 FPS with DLAA, which looks. It doesn't look bad, but 4090. Come on. I mean, I would run this game. I mean, not this game, but I would run games like this, this graphically intensive at that FPS with 4K ray tracing and DLSS quality. Just like Plague Tale Requiem, that's the exact amount of FPS, 120, 130 FPS I got with ray tracing and everything enabled with DLSS quality on 4K. But this game, no. This game only runs at 20 FPS, 22 FPS on 4K with ray tracing. And with DLSS, it's gonna go like to 40 something. Yeah, this game is intensive by all manner of the word. The only thing that I notice about this game is like it's using a lot of VRAM, but it's not using a lot of RAM. The RAM allocation, when you can see like right here, the RAM allocation is like, all right, it's allocating triple of what it's using, but it's only using 4 gigabytes. This is breaking the high RAM usage in 2023, but the allocation, I don't know why it's allocating 3 times what it's using. I have no idea. The VRAM is, I mean, the VRAM utilization is horrendous. Allocating 10.9, basically 11 gigabytes of VRAM and using 9.5 gigabytes of VRAM at 1080p. This is crazy. This is why they said you have to have 3070 because it has only 8 gigabytes, and with DLSS Performance because it's gonna drop below what is it called? Below 8 gigabytes of VRAM. All right, so let me try DLSS. No, not controls. Graphics. DLSS quality. Go back. So what? What happened? DLSS quality gave me 160 FPS. The quality, yes. Let me just make sure that this is, because I played before and I don't know. It's actually giving me like double the performance actually. Before it did not give me double the performance. It like give me like 40 FPS more now from 90 to 160. That's good. That is quite good. All right, so let's drop down. The 100% lows they drop because when I go to the pause menu, the game is locked to 60 FPS. Only using 2% of my GPU. All right. I think this is a dead end. Yeah. So DLSS on quality, actually, I would say this. Usually, when I like play games at 1080p and use DLSS on quality, even it looks like shit. It doesn't look good, because there are no like enough pixels to upscale from, and there are no pixels to upscale to. Like 1080p, not enough pixels. 720p is not. It's even worse. Not enough pixels, and yeah, it looks like crap. But this looks exactly like 1080p with DLAA on top. I don't know what magic trickery they're using, but it's good. It's good. Let's try the DLSS on quality performance. Go back. Yeah, the bump from DLSS quality to DLSS performance, it's not good. It's not probably 10 FPS added to my. I don't know. I see like only like 10 to 15 FPS added to my current FPS with DLSS quality, but the image quality took a big hit. This looks like crap right now. I mean, all I can see, I have a 48-inch screen, so all I can see like from far away is like an oil painting of trees, a landscape of oil painting. So yeah, this is not good. The 100% lows, reset them. Hope they're good. Yeah, they're not far behind. So yeah, this game, the engine doesn't stutter. It just has like a lot of optimization issues that they have to iron out. And yeah, the VRAM utilization dropped only 1 GB. I dropped half the resolution, only 1 GB. The RAM utilization still the same, 4 GB. RAM allocation still the same, 4 GB. Oh, VRAM dropped another 500 megabytes. So, depends on the scene, but it does not drop a lot by dropping the resolution. Alright, let's try frame generation. Back. Frame generation. Oh my god. 260 FPS. I was gonna say gigabytes. 260 gigabytes? That's a lot of gigabytes. Remember, but this is no RT. I mean, RT is gonna drop half the performance, and this is 540p. Let's switch it to DLSS on quality and see. Because DLSS quality actually looks decent enough. Looks the same as 1080p. What is this? Popping shadows? Shadows are just popping in from that light. I mean, the lighting effect is great, but the shadowing without ray tracing is just shit. Trash. But the lighting effect, I remember like only Red Dead Redemption had decent enough lighting in a game without ray tracing. The only game that had decent and good, like not even it's great, was Red Dead Redemption 2. In this game too, I mean, this game has good lighting, but the shadow is just trash. And yeah, I mean, DLSS quality looks better than DLSS performance, by far. I mean, on 1080p, because there are no there's not enough pixels in 540p to upscale to 1080p and still have the same performance. I had 160 with DLSS performance and 150 with DLSS quality. This is crazy. All right, let's try RT and see how it runs with RT. Everything RT. Disable DLSS, disable frame generation, and put RT on high. It takes a second to load the RT effects. The only thing that I noticed without I mean, the lighting is good. It gets better with RT, but the fizzling and shimmering with lighting and like the shadows, bounciness of like the shadows, they don't just pop in and they don't fizzle. The lights doesn't fizzle and shimmer too, so that's great. But the thing is, I'm not gonna play 70 FPS on 1080p that looks like crap on my screen. So let's try DLSS quality. I'm gonna try them all with frame generation too, so I don't leave that out. So DLSS quality still looks decent, still looks the same as not even decent, like still looks the same as 1080p, and it gave me from 70 to 107, 110 FPS. That's good. That's not bad. Look at that lighting effect, right? It's more bright with RT, and it's darker without RT. I don't know why it's darker, but it's like with RTX, not RTX, with RT is brighter, definitely brighter, like 50% more bright than without RT. All right, let's try DLSS on performance. I know that this area of the game that I'm circulating now, it's probably the most intensive area, and this again, DLSS performance, 10 FPS more. I had 109, now it's like 120. Well, 20 FPS more. Does not double the FPS, same as DLSS quality does. But it depends on the scene. So the same scene I had 109, it was 120. 11 FPS more in the same scene. This is not bad. This is not good. I mean, this is bad. Okay, this area that I'm circulating probably is the most intensive area because it has a lot of vegetation and a lot of shadows and stuff. That's why it takes a big hit with RT. They just do DLSS on performance, on quality, and DLSS frame generation because it's gonna give me more FPS than just DLSS quality, performance. All right, so 160 FPS beats 120 FPS, and it looks the same as 1080p. This is what I like. Why I like frame generation because you can use it instead of DLSS performance, and it can be even better. 180 FPS. Yeah, I'm going to places that are not even intensive. I need somewhere that has water, like reflection on the water, fog, and lighting like this. 160 FPS, not bad, not bad. All right, let's switch it to 1440p and see how it runs on 1440p. But I have to switch that on my capture card first. Probably can do it, but it's just gonna go blank. Yeah, it just goes like blank. Like I change it in the capture card. Yep. There you go. So let me just disable DLSS. I'm gonna keep it on DLAA, frame generation off. This is off. Ray tracing is off. Go.
You got it. I used to love geology when I was
Wow.
in school.
This is running better than I thought.
Volcano for her science fair.
I think they updated the game with a, but I don't think that they um gave like a big improvement to performance. So it's 1440p. Just making sure that this is off. Let me just see ray reconstruction. Oh, ray reconstruction does not work without direct lighting.
No to quality time with a
Oh
volcano.
wow! So from 100 FPS to 60 FPS, that's not good. And that was the culprit that because I was playing before to get to this place, and I had ray reconstruction on and direct lighting on, and I thought that was like it was ray tracing off, but it's still you cannot enable ray tracing without enabling what's it called? You cannot enable ray reconstruction without enable ray tracing. There is an option to do it, but it's gonna incorporate something about ray tracing with it. The direct lighting aspect. I don't like these popping shadows. I know that there are leaves they move, but they can like move, not pop in. Shadows can move too. All right. It's running great. Not running bad. It's not bad or anything. But the VRAM is not in check. The VRAM is like 12 gigabyte of actually 13 gigabytes of allocation, not just 12. 12.7 is 13 of allocation, and then 11.3 of usage. The RAM is still the same. All resolutions, everything is still the same. That's weird. The RAM allocation and the RAM usage is still the same all over. Like, doesn't matter what you change in the settings, it's gonna have the same RAM utilization, same RAM allocation, and the VRAM is gonna go up and down. I think that's why the RAM does not get used a lot. So this game does not need a lot of RAM. The allocation is gonna depend on your like capacity. If you have 16, probably is gonna allocate less because it's like an empty file in the RAM, just in case the game needs more RAM. All right, let's enable DLSS quality back. So from 100 and something to 130. I thought it was gonna 140. Only 130. Okay, so it's not big improvement over my FPS, my native resolution, but hey, 30 FPS is better than nothing. Let me just reset 100% lows. Yeah, and yeah, as I said, 1440p, the same as 1080p.
It'll only take a minute.
The DLSS quality looks absolutely the same. Usually in other games, the DLSS quality in 1440p looks worse than native resolution, and especially in 1080p, it looks like shit. But in this game, no, this game looks good. All right, let's try DLSS on performance. Back. Hey, DLSS performance. Oh, it gave me 20 FPS this time, not just 10. From 30s to 50s. Well, not 20. 20. Probably it's like 15 to 20 FPS. depends on the scene, but it's better again. It's better than nothing, right? The VRAM dropped down from 11, like dropped down like a gigabyte and a half. And the allocation too dropped down from like 12.7 to 12. But the RAM increased 100 megabytes, so still basically the same. And the allocation is still 14 gigabytes. I don't know why the RAM does not increase or decrease with settings, but hey, it's not gonna demand 20 gigabytes of RAM, then hey, that's better. All right, let's try DLSS frame generation right now. Back. Oh, frame generation. Actually, I would like to play it like this with RT because it doesn't suck, same as DLSS performance on 1080p. But still, probably I would be, yeah, I would be happier with DLSS on quality actually with frame generation and RT, because RT is gonna drop half the performance, like 200. Imagine like it's 110 FPS right now with DLSS quality and RT enabled. All right, let's enable RT and see. Before I do that, let's enable DLSS on quality. See how it runs with DLSS on quality alone. So yeah, from 211, 212 to 190, it's not bad. I mean, 20 FPS down, 22, 30 FPS down, max. Yeah, that's good. That's still good. Not bad. All right, let's enable RT now. I was gonna say, where are the settings? We're hidden behind my overlay. Yeah, disable DLSS first. DLAA, disable frame generation. RT on high. Back. Yeah, 50 FPS. This is from 100 to 50. It drops half the performance. 50% of the FPS is gonna go. So it was 100 without um uh ray tracing. Now it's 50, 50. Now I'm going to somewhere that is not even intensive. What I'm looking at is mud. Yeah, it dropped 50% of the performance for RT. RT in this game is intensive as fuck. It is intensive. It is what it is. But they should really optimize this game, because the game could run a little bit better if they optimized it. It's not too late. Still, like, this is just the third day of its launch, so it's still not too late. Where am I going? All right, let's enable DLSS on RT. See how it runs. DLSS quality. Oh, DLSS quality gave me a healthy bump, like 30, 33 FPS more. Good. I like that. But it should be like this without DLSS. This is what I'm saying. It should be like this without even DLSS or any ray reconstruction stuff helping on the side. The VRAM is still around 10.5 gigabytes. And allocation is 12 now again. The RAM utilization is still the same, the exact same as before. Does not use a lot of RAM. This game is easy on RAM. Oh, there's another bathroom here. All right, let's see what's in here. Cabin. All right, let's do DLSS on performance. It actually does not suck on 1440p. It actually looks good. Oh, I came here before. I thought this was a new area or something like that that I'd never seen. Yeah, DLSS on performance does not give a big improvement over like DLSS quality. Only 10 FPS from 80 to 90s. That's not a big improvement. The cut in the image quality does not look good for that 10 FPS improvement. All right, let's enable DLSS frame generation right now with DLSS performance first. All right, from 90s to 150. This is great. This is good. I can play with this. let's do DLSS on quality. This is what I would be inclined to play with, actually. All right, not bad. DLSS quality looks the same as relative resolution with DLAA in this game, and 120 FPS. It crashed. Okay, we're back. It crashed, and we're back, and yeah, this is 4K, DLAA, no frame generation, no DLSS, still high settings, no RT. This is how it runs. 58 FPS, close to 60, not bad.
I'm gonna
50, come on.
be right.
Like, I would think it would run like 70, 80 FPS and then 50 with ray tracing enabled. But I think I played it with ray tracing. It's 22 FPS with ray tracing on 4K without any DLSS. Yep, it's intensive as fuck, but it's okay. It's okay. They still have time, as I said. They still have time to fix this shit. And I mean, it's a beautiful game. I'm not gonna lie. It's a beautiful engine that they make games with. Remember Quantum Break? It was ahead of its time graphically. Remember Control? It was also intensive on GPUs. I had a 2080 Ti. It was intensive as shit. And DLSS was like the debut of DLSS with Control, but DLSS looked like shit on quality setting. And yeah, I did not use it. So when it became good, I was already like, I already beat Control, so I did not use DLSS on Control, to be honest. Yeah, Control was intensive, Quantum Break was intensive. This game is like double that. As I say, this game is Crisis to the power of 6. All right, let's use DLSS. Let's see how it runs with DLSS. Back. DLSS. All right, so 85 FPS with DLSS quality, which looks better than just 4K because it adds like a little bit of aliasing to edges and does not look as shimmery or as fizzly as native 4K. But still, these shadows popping in here, it's boggling me. I don't like it. It's only fixed with RT. Only RT can fix that, and RT is gonna make it run at 22 FPS. Okay, let's run it on DLSS Performance right now. The 10 FPS boost. Oh, it's not 20. It's what? Not 10 FPS. It's 20 FPS actually now. It depends on what scene probably, or it depends on what settings am I using. I'm not sure, but most of the time it only adds 10 FPS to my game, which is not worth it. But I mean, it's better than not having the 10 FPS. All right. The CPU is not doing anything, it's just chilling in there. It's like 52 watts. My other CPU would have straight up gone to like 150 watts or like 200 watts and be like 80C. This one is stuck to 60C. All right, let's try DLSS frame generation right now. Frame generation and DLSS performance 140p. Actually, DLSS performance does not look. It looks better than 1440p. Actually, looks way better than 1440p in this game. In every game, for that matter, to be honest, DLSS performance look way better than 1440p native in any game. That's why I never said this before, but I should say it more often. Yeah, DLSS performance on 4K looks way better than 1440p, and has way better FPS than 1440p. It is just 1080p. All right, let's try DLSS on quality with frame generation. Yeah, the VRAM is still like stuck to 10 and 11 gigabytes. And the allocation is still stuck to like 12.6 now, not 12.7. Well, it's the same thing. But the RAM only increased by 400 megabytes from when I started with 1080p. 1080p was like 4 gigabytes or like 3.999. But now it's 4.3, which is basically the same, only like 300 megabytes more. But I don't know. It should, I mean, I would expect it to increase a little bit more, like 10, 8 gigabytes at least. But no, it's not using RAM. It's using the VRAM for everything. All right, I mean it's fine. DLSS is helping here, but remember, RT is gonna drop half the performance, more than half probably. All right, let's disable any RT, any traces of RT. Go down and enable. I mean this DLSS, disable DLSS, not RT, and go enable RT on high. Okay, let's go back. This is what I said. 22, 20, 27. Well, it's close to 22 FPS. This looks chuggy and laggy, and it's not responsive. It does not respond to my mouse movement immediately. Like it takes half an hour to respond to my mouse movement. Well, yeah, it's 25 FPS. This is what I started with with in PC gaming. I had like an NVIDIA 1 gigabyte 6 something 650 660, I'm not sure, on a laptop, and it was great when I started gaming on PC, but time went on, and yeah, I was playing games at like 20, 25, 24 FPS, 30 FPS maximum on like 1080p. All right, let's enable DLSS because this is hurting my eyes. Let's enable DLSS on quality first. Okay. 47 is still hurting my eye, but it's better than 27. 20 FPS boost. Let's reset the 100% lows. Yeah, the 100% lows are basically the same as... Oh, they dropped. They increased again. And 100% lows are all over the place. But I know that the game is gonna get better in like the city, in like in the tunnels, subway tunnels and subway stations, like in rooftops in the city in New York City. But it's in this caldera town, like this is an American village, like small town. Um, it's not running great. There's a lot of trees. There's a lot of shadows, a lot of water puddles. All right, let's enable DLSS on performance. Go back. Great, DLSS performance got me to 60 FPS. Hooray. Let's celebrate. Because DLSS performance is what's going to help me play this game with RT. And playing it with frame generation to smoothen the game even more. The visuals, not the game, because the performance is going to stay the same.
It'll only take a minute.
Yeah, there are no more like shadows popping in. The shadows are like now straight. They're not popping in like circles popping in. There's like straight. I mean lighting and shadowing. There's no bullshit. All right, let's enable frame generation and see how it runs. Frame generation, anyone? Oh, great, frame generation. Oh, that felt laggy. Was it like a one-off? Yeah, I mean now it's instantaneous, but wow, when it started it was like I moved my mouse and it took a whole lot of time to just see it on the screen. Yeah, 107, that means that the game is running at like more than 60 FPS without frame generation, and now it's running at less than 60 FPS without frame generation. Frame generation actually does not double FPS, it just gives you like 33.3 of frames, percent of frames that you already have. So it was 60, now it's 90. It's more than 60, goes to 100 and stuff.
Good to see you still in one piece, Anderson.
But this guy's still laying on the table.
Dangerous place.
I'll look around. See you in a bit.
Take your
Oh, this spot, I've never seen it. Did I come here before? I'm not sure. Yeah, so this is how it runs. The VRAM is still basically around the 12. Now it's 12. It's around 10, 11, and 12 gigabytes of RAM, of VRAM, and then the RAM is just like 4.4, 4.3, 4.2, and 4 flat. 3.9 gigabytes of RAM utilization, but the actual allocation is like 13, 14, still the same. The RAM does not move up or down, but the VRAM moves up and down a little bit. It does not go like below 9 gigabyte,
I want to walk around for a minute.
even with DLSS performance. All right, guys. I'm gonna probably conclude it in this scene. This looks good, and yeah, the game looks better than any other game, but it does not. It's not a reason enough to have that kind of performance, the trashy kind of performance. I think they can optimize the game even more, and still look the same as it does right now, and performance probably started performing better in the next update. They dropped an update, but that didn't do nothing, as you can see. All right, so I'm gonna try it on the 3090 Ti and see how it runs with that GPU. I'm not sure that GPU can handle ray tracing in this in this game. So yeah, I'm gonna be running it with that GPU and see how it runs. And see you in that video. Take care.